Hello and welcome to my GTNH playthrough. It is Monday, January 19th, and as soon as I pressed record, it started raining. Is my firework gonna go off? What's going on? Only 2 fireworks? What is happening there? At least stop the rain, but anyways, I'll have to fix that. Rain's annoying. I don't know why that's not able to craft. Actually, let's just look real quick. Firework. Got tons of fireworks. Why is... Sorry, this is not what I expected. Firework rocket. Duration 128. Bunch of smoke ball blacks. That. Interesting. I don't know. That's weird. Whatever. Not important. And so I was starting over here to kind of show I made a little bit of a mistake this weekend. Not huge. Dang it. I got a little too close. So what we got going on over here is I basically had one like progress goal this weekend and then a bunch of like side quest goals, so to speak. I made a progress goal, which you can see I've accomplished as by me holding this Advanced Nitinol plate in my hand over here. I've been talking about this plate so long. Honestly, I should have looked it up before I started recording to see when I started talking about crafting this thing, because this thing's been like the bane of my existence in terms of progression, it feels like, or cool things I want to build for so long now. It's almost feels a little like anticlimactic how I was able to get it crafted here, because that ain't all the... So that... we'll get to that in a second. But what I wanted to show up, so most of the little bit I did get to play this weekend was to make the plasma line, I think is the name of it. And before we go into the fog, part of it was I set up this second mega ABS over here. And when I did it using the schematic where it auto builds. One of the things I swapped around all my lower stuff, like my input hatches and stuff, to be what I wanted. And then I forgot to go back and change the muffler hatch, and it put an MV muffler hatch. And you can see this thing like wreak havoc. And you can see from this little circle, like the regular one with an UV hatch does a little bit of damage, but this thing was not running that long, and you can see the chaos that caused the landscape over here. Yeah, let's hop down here real quick. It's gonna be a little rough as soon as it realizes I'm back in the pollution. Oh no, it didn't go off. Nice. So I did set up a air filter down here to help because it was bad. But what I did do, so this mega ABS right here is going to specifically be for any recipe involved in the plasma line, and that's it. I don't want to do any other stuff. And which turns out, I don't even need these 3 input hatches, because all I needed for the plasma line were these 4 recipes and these 3 hatches. Now, there's not really too much to go over here. I mean, it's just a standard multi-block setup besides the fact that it's a huge multi-block. But all these are various steps in the plasma line with the only kind of notable, I should say, molten cobalt and molten raw silicone. Both these guys get used. Molten raw silicone. You know what? I wonder if that's the wrong thing. No, plasma. Let me look at this. Because that sounds wrong. So it'd be Lunite, Astral, Krypton, Niobium, molten raw silicone. Okay, it is the right thing. But yeah, so normally the rest of the stuff, a lot of these kind of things have regular fluid extractor recipes. Instead, I decided to go with this mega LBS. When you look at an NEI, like if we clicked on niobium plasma, come back over here, we go molten cobalt. It's got this ABS non-alloy recipe. Reason I went with these ones is because it lets me go directly from the dust to the molten version instead of having to have that step in between where we turn it into an ingot and extract it. So that was kind of cool. These 2 are the only 2 in the whole line that had that. And then these 2 are just what's it called, recipes needed for certain steps in the plasma line. So yeah, that's about all we got going on over here. The rest of what I got done was up over in the hill. So this is up here. Actually, we're going to come in from this entrance down here real quick. So that's where I'm normally coming in. It's because I want to mention something real quick. Down here was where I had all my auto crafting reactors going. I did swap all these to go to I pulled every pattern out of here. These guys are only functioning or running because they were currently running a recipe before I pulled the pattern out. Now, just to kind of like illustrate how fast that reactor is up there, when I started doing the plasma line today, the first thing I did was pull the patterns out of these guys. Like that was like the first. So this thing is, I finished doing the plasma line before one recipe cycle finished down here in these. So that's just this how much faster these compact reactors are. So that in itself is kind of crazy. But yeah, if we come up here, you can notice it's a little empty. So I misremembered. So I looked at the Nitinol stuff a while back and specifically getting to Nitinol plasma. And for some reason in my head, I remembered a bunch more of the steps of the plasma line having the molten version versus the plasma version. So I thought I was going to need a bunch of extreme heat exchangers. Turns out I only need one, and that's for the last step to get to Advanced Nitinol specifically to get the molten version. Like we go to Advanced Nitinol, we get it specifically through an extreme heat exchanger. Everything else in this line is either plasma or a molten version gotten from the ABS or a regular fluid extractor. So all this space up here is at the moment unused. But as for the actual compact reactor, the last we left off, I had just crafted it and got it set into place, but it wasn't functional. In terms of functionality and setting it up, it's nothing too special. Basically, we've got our standard Lapotron battery set up, and then I'm using a sub network here, this time doing pink just to match the color of the reactor. And I'm just using one UV dynamo hatch out, and then all these batteries are connected to the same dynamo hatch. I've just got it would be 8 different outputs for it to all the different batteries on here. Technically speaking, if this thing were to run nonstop because of the cable loss, like it were to run nonstop for a very long time, I would eventually have a power fail, but I don't see that really happening. So as it stands, that's basically it. It does take 32 energy hatches and batteries and all that jazz around. And technically, every one of these sides, I could set up more input things, but there's no need to, because like it's only, unless there's like, I don't know, maybe later I'll need to do that. But for the moment, I just have, as if this were the small fusion reactors, we've just got a pattern to 2 input hatches and the output hatch on the main network. Like I said, I moved all the other patterns that were down below up here, and then did all the patterns for the actual plasma line. And all I'm doing, the only other thing that was up here is I've got these 5 level maintainers to take care of every fluid used within said plasma line. Basically just kind of have them all keeping at 1,000,000. If I ever need to increase any of them, I will. But this thing actually, like I said, this thing goes really fast that I was able to get all the way through said plasma line, with the exception of Celestial tungsten plasma in that time. And I even have the patterns set up for Celestial the Celestial stuff. But I didn't realize, let's see if it should be right here. Celestial tungsten. This tartarite. All right. Is actually a ingot that comes from an ore that we just don't have access yet. This is a decent amount away. I can go for the tier 7 right now, but so it's still a while till I get tier 8. I assume I get it in the next actual age, but so the patterns are set up. I even set up the patterns for like molten and to even though this comes from an ore, it still has to go through a blast furnace to turn into an ingot, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, so that's just where that's at the moment. I didn't see any way to cheat this. It didn't seem like it came from a byproduct from anything. Like here, it just comes from the simple door washer. Comes from only tardite. So, I mean, not that I was using it. I'm not too worried about it. I don't think I have the distilled water to keep up with the celestial tungsten anyways, even though this would be a huge amount of power, but we'll be ready to go when that comes. So for the actual plasma line, just kind of showed off because I put everything into here, but I haven't gotten any of the quests. Let's see. How to generate power. Hi there. You've unlocked fusion. Cool. Do we got boron? That's krypton runite. Here it is. Q, boron. Oh, this one's a checkbox. I think this guy's a checkbox as well. Which brings us to force plasma. Oh, I need 64 force plasma. Oh, did it, let's see. Fluid terminal. Give me the fluid terminal. Do I have one crafted? I do. Yay. How many? Okay, yeah. I only have 6 over here so far. I will actually turn something off because, it goes cell up here. Empty cell. Come down here. Force plasma. 1 million. Boom. This one's a checkbox. We have that in our inventory. Also a checkbox. Inventory. Retrieval, krypton, and astral titanium. So here's our krypton. Here's our astral titanium. Boom. Got our kryptonite one. Boom. Then next up is runite. Also needs 64. Get out of here. Boom. Nice. Runite. And then we got this one, the checkbox. America. We definitely have a lot of American one. Then Vax, Xeon, and Advanced Nitinol. Q. Nice. So yeah, we've got most of the way through the plasma line. That's pretty sweet. I was really excited to get this guy. So this is, I don't know, I think for me, having this plate kind of counts me at the end of UV. Technically, it'll be a hot minute till we get into UHV proper. I can actually start this craft. I haven't crafted one up yet. Let's see. You know, that'd be. Let's do that. I think that'll be a good way to end the episode and end this little quest we've been on. Polybenzene, superconductor UV wire. I wonder. I don't have this whole setup right with UHV machine casing. Man, that's funny. I wonder what I was doing with the machine casing. Get out of here. Throw this guy over here. Machine casing, what are we missing? Oh, look at that all go so fast. But yeah, so I guess for just kind of final thoughts on this thing, because I probably won't have to talk about it again for a good long while. I can't imagine. it took a long time to get to this, but I would not say that means it wasn't worth it by any means. Like the fact that this was a little bit of anticlimactic was almost the point, because I was able to set up all the way from scratch to this guy in about an hour once I actually got this thing set up. And it's basically instantaneously craft it. Like if I had gone my original plan and done 14 Mark IIIs, I'd probably have one or two of these ingots right now. Now I have, if we were to look in there for Nitinol, I mean, got Advanced Nitinol plasma sitting at 1 million, molten sitting at 118K. Don't actually know why it's not running. Hope it didn't blow itself up. Oh yeah, I guess I could talk about this real quick, because, well, that last bit's crafting. This machine still is valid. Okay, good. So, all I did for this guy, just to keep it running, the Nitinol itself is not actually a very demanding distilled water recipe, thankfully. So all we've got on here behind this tank is a input hatch with a regulator in, pulling it in at 500 liters per second, which if you look at this, right here, 500 liters a second for the max fluid input. This is just a pattern. It'll dump the advanced in here, and then obviously gets pulled in. On the backside, it comes out, both the supercritical steam as well as the molten advanced nitinol. And then just to make sure this thing doesn't accidentally blow up, if for some reason I have a problem with distilled water, I have this buffer here with a fluid detector on it. And as long as this is above it, it runs up to the regulator in here, which is also running off the machine state with a machine controller in there. So as long as this guy is good, it'll keep the machine on. And then just friendly reminder, this thing does not take power. But as for me, you HP machine hull. Oh, I gotta wait on some superconductor wires. How well that's going. So now that I've got the nitinol, one of the first things I'm going to craft is this personal healing nano booster. It will be a little bit sad, but this will probably be the last you see me carrying around the healing axe. I don't, that will supersede the healing axe, and I won't need to have it in my hand anymore to keep myself healing. Then after that, I want to set up the UU matter stuff. If I go to UU matter, this guy, the matter fabrication CPU, I want to set up a couple of these so I can get more UU matter faster. That way I can swap my circuits off of being the crystal and move them over to being the wetware, because my main holding back factor is specifically UU matter. It just takes too much currently. And then, yeah, I'm honestly not really sure where to go from there. I've been so focused on this plate, I haven't really looked too much to the future beyond it. But now that we have it, I think it's safe to say we have conquered UV, and I look forward to the journey upwards and onwards. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you tomorrow. Well, maybe tomorrow. I want to throw out, I do believe I have a pretty busy week at work this week, so I'm not sure if my schedule's a little busy, so if I might not get a video every day this week. If I don't have one tomorrow, I'll for sure have one the next day. But as long as I get a few things done tomorrow, I will upload something, even if it's a shorter video. But yeah, appreciate you for watching. I will see you sometime here soon. Hope you have a good night. Goodbye.